you're going to need to put down at least half. And I'll let you, whatever shoe you want, I'll give you half the money for it. So I was like, okay, I need to come up with the money to get this Jordan 5. And I got the Air Jordan 5. And when I first saw it, I saw this 3M reflective tongue, and I saw these quarter panels on the side of the shoe that had this mesh, and I saw this outsole that was translucent, and I didn't know what to do with myself. So I bought them, and I sat there and looked at them. I would put them under my bed and turn the light on so that you could see the shininess, because it was a little bit of light and it would reflect off, and I would hold the shoe and try to tilt it so that it could, so that you could see that. Anywho, from that, I tore the shoe apart. After I tore the shoe apart, I got into model airplanes.
I'm listening. Keep talking.
I got into models. I got into Legos. I got into all these different things. And all these different things led me down a path of math and science.
Right.
And from math and science, it came to me naturally. I'll tell people that even in high school, I slept through most of my classes. I did 90% of the homework in homeroom. So I would be sitting next to somebody and I'd be like, hey, the homework's due. Did you get any of it done? They'd be like, I got 1 or 2. And I'd be like, let me see this. And I'd have 5 minutes and I would have the homework done. So I didn't really apply myself in high school, but teachers saw the potential in me, so they sent me to summer camps to learn about engineering. And from that, growing up in a single parent home, money was so important, and it was our driving force, that becoming an engineer was less about I'm good at math and science, I should do this, and more about when I graduate I could be making 60, 70 right
so
off
now the money is a motivator to take care of the family.
Right off the rip,
Yeah.
Or even just myself. So then, but in that whole story, remember that started with the Jordan.
Right.
That started with the Jordan 5. So now, when I'm at Nike and I'm like, well, what is your purpose? Why are you at Nike? It's to create things, a Jordan, a part of a Jordan, any type of a shoe, any type of footwear technology for that 10-year-old version of myself. For that kid, for that person of color, that girl or boy that's 10 years old, single parent home, foster home, both parents, wherever they're at, to show them what's possible, to unleash what's inside of them. Because that shoe, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I was just so enamored with certain things that it drew me to math and science, to engineering. So what I want to do is I want to create that same energy when I was a 10-year-old kid. I want to create that in somebody else.
How, this makes me think of this, how do we get out of the pain? Because, a lot of motivation is, fueled by the pain that we've been through, whether it's cut from the basketball team, whether it's mother and father wasn't there, or father was there and mother wasn't, vice versa. You know what I mean? How do we get to a healing place? Because what if that 10-year-old kid wants different things?
Yeah.
And we're still feeding that 10-year-old kid something that they wanted when they were 10.
Yeah.
But now that 10-year-old kid is 35 or 38. You know what I mean?
Well, when I look at it, it's that pain. It's really how you receive it and what you feel it is. Like at first it's pain, it's motivation, but at a certain point it becomes the why, and it's less about pain, and I'll say it like this. For a while there, I held animosities and anger towards my father because of what happened and how I was a part of it. And then it slowly started to switch, and it was like, well, he was in a bad situation, and I learned the empathy around it. And then it was just like, well, why wasn't my father then? It was like my father wasn't there, and it helped me. That pain really transformed me. It wasn't a bad thing as much as it was a good thing for me. And it's really looking at those things as how you perceive them. They can be perceived as something as being bad, or it can also be something perceived as it can help you. So it's, I'm still feeling the pain of that. And it's like, well, are you feeling the pain, or are you feeling something that's trying to move you in a direction that you don't want to go, and it's perceived as being pain when it's actually motivating you. So I don't know if I have the right answer for that. So I'm just talking it through.
Nah, that's good stuff though, because I think we all kind of deal with that. I think about my wife. My wife, a lot of her music, came from pain. You know what I'm saying? And it was healing for her. I can look at Kanye West and see that a lot of his music at the college dropout came from pain.
Through the wire.
Through the wire. You know what I'm saying? Some of his best music. If you look at the Curtis Mayfields, right? All of them, they had a lot of pain. The John Coltrane's, they had a lot of pain.
Donny
Hathaway, a lot of great music came out of the pain. So it's not to negate the pain.
Yeah.
Because the pain brings, it lets you tap into something that's raw and uncut, and you can feel something. But as artists, you want to have a place to heal too. To experience something else on the other side of that pain as well. You know what I mean? So, because I feel like a lot of times we don't forgive our 10-year-old self. We don't forgive the kid that was picked on, or the kid that was, bullied, or whatever the case may be, in order to move forward.
How do you forgive yourself? That younger version of yourself. What do you think is how does that happen?
I think for me, I accepted that it was all a part of the journey.
And that's that's sort of the same sentiments. I think I may have just said it a little differently, but my father and where he was in life, that was a part of it made me. And I think that's what it is too, is that it's like you can say that something made you and it was a bad experience, and you can say something that made you and it was a good experience.
Right, that's true. Yeah, but I think I just accepted it. Like, it's almost like, how can I say this? How can I put this? It's things that, that I've experienced in a way that I'm like, okay, you can accept this and move forward, or you cannot accept it and stay in it and be angry. You know what I mean? At some point, you're going to have to accept it and move on. It's like, you can never be healed from your friend. If you make friends with darkness, you're going to stay dark. So at some point, you gotta push that darkness. You gotta accept the light. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I've been through the worst of the worst, whether the person been raped, whether the person been made fun of. You have to come to the realization of, okay, that was a rough time, and I'm still working through it. But you know what? I'm going to accept this light in order to move forward. You know what I mean? Because there's something in the workings of everything that I may not understand.
Talk a little bit about so you've been in Portland now. This is the third day that you've been here,
right?
And we've been talking about it a little bit the whole time that you've been here. You are a beacon, and you're shining light, and you're meeting people at Nike. You're meeting people of color in Portland, and you're shining a light on them. And some people, that light is being reflected back, and then other people, you're shining the light, and it's not being reflected back, and you're seeing blockages, and you're seeing. Talk a little bit about what that, like, just all of that.
Well, I know that I'm a light everywhere I go. You know what I'm saying? I've made that decision because, I have the light. The light is in me. I know who the source is in me. You know what I mean? So no matter where I walk at, I can just look at people and know that, okay, they're dealing with something. That's the discernment, that's the gifts that the Lord has given me to be able to look at people and say, they need a little bit more light today. You know what I mean? And when it's reflected back, it's cool because it fuels me. It gives me a little bit like, oh man, okay, cool. Like coming here with you, there's light reflecting on light, you know what I'm saying? So we create a greater light, you know what I mean? But when I see someone that is, have some dark areas, sometimes it's just how you doing. Like when I hug the young lady, I know that's it. Now, the reason why I told her at your job, the reason why I told the other young girl that I shook her hand, you know what I'm saying, because she didn't need a hug. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm in Portland, and I know that Portland has this race thing like the rest of America. So I didn't want to hug the black girl and then not hug the white girl, and the white girl feel that I didn't hug her because she's white, subconsciously.
Yes.
But I hug the black girl because she's black.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they're two different people that need two different things.
Yeah.
And so when I hugged the other young lady, I was like, I know that you need a hug. Because I know that you probably have one in your relationship that looks like me, so to speak, and you hadn't got what you really needed. So let me give you that, sis, to keep you going. You know what I'm saying? And so when I told the other young lady, like, you didn't need it, so you to not think anything other than what it was. You know what I mean? You just didn't need it. You full. You know what I'm saying? And she even echoed it back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm feeling it up. I'm feeling it up. You know, because she was already there. You know what I'm saying? At a place, you know. So I think that's it's important that we check in. You know, we check in with people. You know what I'm saying? We check in to see how people are feeling and checking in with ourselves. You know, I'm not always at full light throttle every day. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather check in with my wife or check in with my friend. When I was with you, when you said something about the sword, you know what I mean? I was in that darkness a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I was still trying to figure it out. How could this happen to me? How could I be so stupid? You know what I'm saying? When that relationship was the best thing that happened to me, because it forced me to learn about self-worth. You know what I mean? It forced me to learn a lot about myself. You know what I mean? Sometimes we, accuse people of doing things to us, but nobody can do anything to you unless you allow it. You know what I'm saying? That's like if you give me your hand, give me your hand. You know what I'm saying? Don't hold me. I'm holding you. I don't need you to hold my hand. I'm holding your hand. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it's like I'm holding Aaron. Aaron is not holding me. Sometimes we want people to hold us when they're not meant to hold. They just meant to show you something for a period of time. You know, it's just a season. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, this what this was. You know, it pulled so many different things out of me. You know, and now I'm like, okay, I can sit back and look at it. And even that young lady, I so she'll see this one day. I can't wait to say, yo, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? What's up? You good? You married? How you doing? How things going? What's up with your life? You know, people come into your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. You know, and I think sometimes we try to hang on to people. You know what I mean? When it's time to let go.
How do you know when to let go?
You know when to let go. You just go, you know it.
Your inner critic is telling you, I don't know if you should let go.
Right.
And you're listening to that inner critic
instead of that critic. Instead of that self, that inner critic is speaking to you, but you know when to let go. Most people, everyone knows. They know. It's just you don't listen to it.
Or you're afraid to take that action.
Or you're afraid to take that action. You know that it's time to quit that job, but you stayed there and delayed yourself another 5 years. You know it was time to let that job go a long time ago, but the critic said, I got a child, I got a house note, I got a car note.
What are people going to say? Everybody's going to think that I'm crazy because I quit my job.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of saying, the inner voice is saying it's time to go. And the inner voice is also giving you strategy. Hey man, it might be time to downsize on the car. It may be time to figure out how to use a training system. It may be time to sell at home, and get another space. Or it may be time to keep all that and see how the Lord is going to provide. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I feel like we don't give God the opportunity to provide. He says, I am a provider. You know what I'm saying? I hear you, I always hear you. This is what Jesus said. I hear you, I always hear you. I know that you always hear me. So you step into something, you don't need to know all the ins and outs of it. You just need to know that I'm going to be provided for. Your baby girl, you know what I'm saying? She doesn't wake up in the morning, worried about what she's going to eat. She knows that it's going to be there. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with the Lord. He's going to make sure that you're good, but we have to surrender. The thing is, we sometimes try to keep doing it all by ourselves. You know what I mean? I gotta do this, I gotta make this happen. It's my time, I gotta do it. But not by your might, but by the Spirit. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we spirit beings, so we just gotta release ourselves to be like, okay, like the podcast. We ain't had no plan. I came here. We said we wanted to do it. But then we released ourselves to make everything happen. It was put on a burden on your heart. Let me get the equipment. Okay, cool. We're gonna put the iPhone up. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna sit up in here. You know, and we just gonna talk and be stonecutters for people and stonecutters for ourselves. We getting fed at the same time.
Exactly.
You know, the person that's watching this is getting fed.
Yeah. So I just want to back up for anybody that's